Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be teaching you how I made these amazing donuts. Let's get started. 2 eggs, 6 tablespoons of milk, 1.5 teaspoons of instant yeast, 2 tablespoons of water, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of salt, half a stick of butter, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of mashed potatoes, and 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is pour our warm water into a clean bowl. Then we're going to add in our yeast, and we are going to mix this really well until it's well combined. Next up, we're going to add in our milk. And we're going to start adding in our butter. And before using our hand mixer, we're also going to add in our mashed potatoes. We are going to mix for about 2 minutes. Then we're going to add in our sugar and our salt. And as you can see, our mixture looks a little bit choppy, but that's just fine because our mashed potatoes haven't fully dissolved yet. At this moment, we're also going to add in our cinnamon. Now with the spoon, I'm going to give this a quick mix. And now what I'm going to do is just grab 1 cup of flour and add it into our mixture and then continue mixing with our electric mixer. I'm going to be doing a little bit of flour at a time just so my hand mixer doesn't get jammed and it's just a little bit easier for us. And as you can see, I'm going to be adding 1 cup at a time. It doesn't have to specifically be 1 cup, but just a small amount. Okay, so once you're half of the flour mixture in, we're going to add in our eggs. This is going to give our mixture a lot of moisture and it's going to make it a little bit easier for us to keep mixing in our flour, because you will notice that if we just continue adding our flour, at one point we're not even going to be able to mix with our hand mixer. And then I'm going to continue adding the rest of my flour. And you will see in a second that I'm going to switch to a spatula because at this point it's getting too hard to mix with my hand mixer. And it's much easier to switch to a spatula. And for the rest of the flour, I'm just going to mix it in with a spatula. And you're going to mix this until you form a nice, soft, and smooth dough. You guys can also transfer this to a clean surface where you can roll it out. And if you notice that your dough is still a little bit sticky and not holding together and still sticking to your bowl, you can go ahead and add extra flour until it no longer sticks to your hand, to the bowl, and it forms a nice consistency. And this is what your dough should look like. At this point, I'm going to leave it in that bowl. I'm going to cover it and let it rest for about an hour. After an hour, this is how our dough is looking like. It pretty much doubled the size. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have a clean surface to work on. I'm going to just sprinkle some flour on top so our dough does not stick to the table. And then I'm going to divide my dough into 2 sections because I'm actually going to save half of this dough for another time. And with the section that I'll be using today, I'm going to roll this out, not too thin, not too thick. And with a donut cutter, I'm going to start cutting out my circles and creating my donuts. This is what they're are going to look like. I'm going to place them in a sheet with parchment paper and some flour, just to make sure that they don't stick. And I'm going to continue cutting the rest of my donuts. Okay, so now once we have all of our donuts cut up, I'm going to let them rest and let them grow for about 45 minutes. And this is what they should look like. They are so beautiful, so fluffy. As you can see, they look more like donuts than they did before. And now it is time to start frying them. At this point, I have a pan full of oil heating up, and I am ready to start frying my donuts. Make sure that your oil is not too hot, otherwise, once you put in your donut, it is going to burn right away. Happened to me. And they cook really quickly, so make sure that you keep an eye on them. Okay guys, so I actually lost the footage of this part and I'm so sorry about that, but basically after all our donuts are cooked and they're still warm, we're just gonna sprinkle some sugar on top. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and until my next video. Bye guys.